In the early going, U.S. stocks are mixed, although mostly lower. A few hours ago, all four indices were lower, but as I speak to you right now, the Russell down just short of 0.7%, the Dow down about 0.25%, the S&P down between 0.2 and 0.1%. The NASDAQ, on the other hand, up between 0.1 and 0.2%, 16 basis points. Yields are a little bit higher across the board. 2 years up 4, 5 years up 4, 10 years up 3, 30-year is up 4. That 10-year is sitting just shy of 4%. The 2 cents inversion, negative 21, settled at negative 18 on Friday. So really moving on a rapid pace toward normalization. Some of the news that came out overnight and yesterday: Japanese PPI month over month and year over year came out higher than expected. Euro area industrial production comes out at down 6.8%, lower than expected by almost 1%, and lower than the previous read by 0.2%. This morning, German ZEW in economic sentiment came out higher than expected, but current conditions came out lower than expected, and Canada's December inflation data came on spot on with expectations. Davos is in full swing right now, the economic summit, and you should see some pretty interesting headlines coming out of there over the next few days. Also, Morgan Stanley missed pretty big on earnings. The stock is down over 3% as I speak to you right now. Dollar surges to a 1-month high. The dollar is up the most against the Aussie dollar, the New Zealand dollar, and the Japanese yen, but still up more than 0.5% against the euro and the sterling, and up about 1/3% against the Canadian dollar. This is pushing metals lower except for copper, which is up 0.75%. Gold and silver both down, and crude oil is actually down a little bit as well. Natural gas futures down over 10% as I speak to you right now, after the cold snap was handled by the suppliers putting a lot more supply into the market than this time last year. Looks like as we get a light at the end of the tunnel for that cold, natural gas is taking that risk premium out of its price. Looking ahead, today we have a speech by Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey and Fed Governor Michelle Waller. In terms of earnings, today after the close, we get 5 companies with market caps over $1 billion, including Interactive Brokers. And tomorrow, before the market opens, we get 4: Prologis, Charles Schwab, US Bancorp, and Citizens Financial Group. Data tonight: Japanese Tenkan Index, Chinese home price index, GDP, industrial production, retail sales, and their employment data. Tomorrow, UK and EU inflation data, US retail sales, industrial productions, and the National Association of Home Builders home price index.